All right, welcome back to another workout. So this is kind of the first episode of the lock-in. Mainly just the programming aspect of it and the gym aspect. Everything else we'll kind of work on. Diet's very variable, and just because of my work and other life circumstances, sleep is a little hard to control. But primary movement for this upper body day, which I do on Wednesdays, is going to be the incline bench press. I do want to do a row to 3 plates or 315 incline bench press, but I am telling myself that I need to prioritize cutting and actually getting to a body composition that I'm happy with, and then working my way back up. So if I say I'm going to do a row to 315, a little contradictory, because I have to be realistic in that if I am going to be cutting, and I do want to cut a substantial amount of weight, then I know that my strength is not going to magically increase. And incline bench is fucking hard. Very humbling compared to a flat bench. I've flat benched to 345 before at my peak, and then the most that I've done with incline was like 260, 270. I can't remember exactly, but 260, I believe, because I think I tried a double around that before and I got stapled. So, but luckily at this gym there is this incline bench that assists with the self unrack. And it is honestly goated. It makes the movement feel so much better. You don't have to overreach to unrack the bar. You just kind of move it to where you want to lift off, and then you just pop it up, and it feels great. So we worked up to a heavy-ish double, and then backed off with a heavier triple, and then backed off from there as well. So next week I think I'm just going to chip the top set, add 5 pounds, and then repeat the top triple set, and then the back offs will probably increase the weight. And then for accessories, we're doing the seated OHP again, but I am doing paused reps. And you can see there I accidentally hit the rack, which almost killed me. Exaggerating, but for here I'm really trying to make sure that the bar touches my clavicle, and then I'm really pausing, a legitimate pause, and then pushing up from there. And I think that initially I wanted to have the seated OHP as kind of a heavy exposure to overhead press, so the logic behind that is that if I OHP 225 seated, then eventually I will get to the 225 standing OHP. But I'm thinking that I have to make sure that I pause, because the sticking point for the OHP is really that initial drive, just right after you start the movement, so right about your chin height. So when you're doing a seated OHP, if you don't pause at the bottom and you really use that eccentric momentum to really bounce the bar back up, that elastic energy, then it kind of defeats the purpose of complementing your standing OHP. So because I don't care as much about the seated OHP, and I care a lot more about the standing OHP, I will use the seated OHP as an accessory movement. It is a good way to get some quality volume in while being extremely stable, but I do want to emphasize the bottom position and really the skill of breaking that initial inertia, just so that it carries over a lot better for my standing OHP. And I'm thinking too, and I do technically overhead press 3 times a week, because for my main upper body day, I do the machine seated OHP. But I think that at some point or another, I will have to make sure that my overhead press, standing overhead press that is the first movement of the day. So, again, with the training ADHD, right? Telling myself that, think about that down the road, pick a few movements to kind of prioritize right now, so that, you stick to the same program and not constantly change things. So for right now, the incline bench press and then the weighted dips will be the 2 primary movements for my pushing. For the OHP, I still will do on my bigger leg day, but I'll do it after my deadlifts. So hopefully, deadlifts, I will not be like pushing volume by any means, because my body just not like volume on deadlifts. So I'll do it like a heavy single, 2 back off sets that are extremely light, and then hopefully that does not tax my OHP too much. But then for the rest of this workout, just a lot of accessory movement. You can see that initially before this one was the overhead tricep extensions. That machine is honestly great because they have one of those at EOS, but I was able to do the full stack like pretty quickly, and I'm not a abnormally strong person by any means. So but this one I am having the pin at like 200 or so, or 100 or so, and it's about half the stack. So a lot of room for progression. And then towards the end of the workout, I am supersetting a lot of movements just to save on time. Like here, I am doing a chest supported row, and then I'm doing a machine lateral raise as well. And maybe this is just junk volume, especially with the most recent meta and most recent trends in hypertrophy training and all of that. But I just love it, and right now it seems like it's working. So and maybe in the future we change it and kind of pull back a little bit of the work, but work capacity is a real thing as well. So and then towards the end of the workout, we're just really ending it off with some hammer curls. I was doing these after my incline bicep curls, but the ego is getting a little bit in the way, so I wanted to do the hammer curls first because this is the heavier movement, and I was doing 2 sets of these, but I'm gonna do 3 because it just feels great. And got to build up those big brachioradialis, that muscle that makes your forearm look a lot bigger. So but once we finished these, we moved on to the incline curls, and those were pushing a little bit hard, but a lot of it is a lot of volume, very light work, really making the elbow joint feel great, because I do a lot of pressing. So I think that it is very important to have a movement where you're doing a little bit lighter weight, more reps, just to get that additional blood flow in, and keep those tendons happy so that they don't flare up. And for the amount of pressing that I do, I believe I have a great balance, because my elbows don't really ever flare up, get injured, knock on wood, because the second I say that now, it's going to happen. But these felt great. Just a lot of pump. And then for the end of this video, we do a little bit of posing. So, and again, we gotta lock in and get the diet in check, because I've been kind of stagnant at the current weight for a while now, and I kind of want to get to the point where, you know, I feel comfortable posing with my shirt off because my abs are back. I have quote unquote abs right now, but in very specific lighting. So there's still a little bit of, you know, fat around the problem areas, such as, you know, the love handles and all of that. But and again, we'll get there. We'll probably have like 20 pounds to lose to get to the body composition that I want. So we're gonna log in and we're gonna get there. See you guys on the next one. Peace out.